Good morning. Welcome to another session on environmental impact assessment.
So we shall continue with Unit 3, Air Quality, Noise, Energy, Water Quality, Vegetation and Wildlife Impact. Course outcome: apply the knowledge of the impact of infrastructure projects on air quality, water quality, vegetation and wildlife. Learning outcome: air pollution and its impacts. Specific outcomes: effects of air pollution on human beings and plants, air pollution control measures. So in the last session we have seen about what is air pollution, what are the sources of air pollution, how to classify the air pollution, and what are the types of air pollutants, right? So here we are going to see the sources and effects, right? So first one is carbon monoxide, colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. So it has no effect at normal concentration of 0.1 ppm, that is parts per million, but at higher concentration it has a serious effect. Sources: volcano, natural gas emissions, seed germination contribute to CO. Transportation sector contributes 70% of the CO, wood burning 10%, industrial processes 15%. So this is a pie chart representing the contribution of CO from various different activities. So effect is reduces oxygen carrying capacity of blood and decreases vision and cardiovascular disorders. So simple example of how carbon monoxide is formed is if you are cooking in a closed room with wooden stove, right, meaning you have some wood for burning. What happens is that due to lack of oxygen inside the room, carbon monoxide will be formed, and there's a possibility that person will die due to lack of oxygen content in his body. Why? Because it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So he will inhale the carbon monoxide and possibly it can lead to death. So that is how severe carbon monoxide is. Second one, carbon dioxide formed by fossil fuel combustion. Jet planes use O2 and release CO2, and burning of some materials can also cause carbon dioxide. So effect is headache, nausea. Effect on climate results in increase in global temperature, or to say it causes global warming. Oxides of nitrogen, that is NOx group contains NO, NO2 and N2O. So nitric acid, NO, NO2 is nitrogen dioxide, N2O is nitrous oxide. So it is formed by combustion of fuels in automobiles and industries, lightning, forest fires, natural ionizing radiations. So effects: this also reduces the oxygen carrying capacity, causes lung problems. So this is a pie chart representing the contribution of NOx from various activities. Sulfur, oxides of sulfur, generally called as SOx, include SO2 and SO3, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So 67% of SOx pollution comes from volcanic activities and other natural sources, remaining due to fossil fuel combustion and fossil fuel burning and transportation, as well as industrial activities. Effects: causes respiratory problems. Marbles, clothes, paper, leather also get affected. Plants also get heavily affected. This is a pie chart representing the contribution of SO2 from various activities, industries, etc. Hydrocarbons, these include methane, ethylene, acetylene, terpenes, etc. Sources: coal fields and natural fires. Incomplete combustion is also one of the reasons for formation of hydrocarbons. Forest fires, agricultural burning. Effects: causes carcinogenic effect, that is cancerous problems, right? Formation of ozone and PAN, which are harmful. PAN is a secondary air pollutant. Damages plants, rubber material, fabric and paints. Particulate matter, these are different substances suspended in the air in the form of solid particles or liquid droplets. They vary widely in size, and different particulate matter are called aerosols: dust, smoke, fumes, mist, fog, fly ash, etc. So fine particles come from various sources, that is diesel trucks, buses, construction equipments, power plants, wooden stoves, wildfires, and also chemical reactions. The atmosphere can transform gases into fine particles. So how small is the PM? As I told in the last session, PM is particulate matter of size 10 micrometer and 2.5 micrometer. So it is called PM10 and PM2.5, right? Sometimes it may be less than 10 micrometer in diameter size also. So beach sand is 90 micrometer in diameter. So you can imagine how small PM2.5 and PM10 will be. The right side you can see the contribution from various activities for PM2.5. So effects: premature death, aggravated asthma, acute respiratory symptoms, chronic bronchitis, that is problems with the lungs, right, bronchioles, right, decreased lung function, shortness of breath, people with existing lung and heart diseases as well as the elderly and children are particularly at risk due to this particular particulate matter. So effects of air pollution on human beings. So you can see the different parts of the human body that is getting affected by these air pollutants in our body, right? So you can see the nasal cavity, oral cavity, pharynx, trachea, the windpipe, and bronchioles, right? The left lung, the right lung, and bronchus, right? And inside the alveoli, what is there? You can see alveoli sac consists of bronchioles, alveolar duct, and alveoli. And inside the trachea, you can see the different components. So around 30% to 40% case of asthma and 20% to 30% of all respiratory diseases, right, arise due to air pollution, right? So they affect our health in both with short-term and long-term effects. Short-term effects are irritation to nose, eyes, throat, bronchitis, headache, etc. Long-term effect is lung diseases, chronic respiratory problems, damage to heart, brain, and eyes, etc. Eye irritation due to NOx, ozone, pan, particulates. Nose and throat also gets affected due to SO2 and NOx, etc. Gaseous pollutants like hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and hydrocarbons causes odor nuisance. That is, they cause uh, unmentionable smell, right? Irritation of respiratory tract caused by SOx, NOx, carbon monoxide, ozone. There is an increase in mortality. That is, the death rate increases. High concentration of SO2, NO2, and suspended particulate matter, that is PM2.5 and PM10, causes bronchitis and asthma. Carbon monoxide and nitric acid react with hemoglobin and reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Heavy metals like lead can cause poisoning. High concentration causes damage to liver and kidney. Factors affecting human health. So these are some of the factors which affect the human health. So it is the nature of the pollutants, the concentration of the pollutants, the duration of exposure to the pollutants, state of health of the receptor who is inhaling those pollutants, age group of the receptor. So it is not only the inhalation of the pollutants, it also deals with the concentration he or she is inhaling, for how much time he is exposed to those pollutants, what is his health condition while inhaling those things, and at what age group he is at present, meaning to say what is the level of his immunity, right? So that's what they want to say by age group. So effects of air pollution on plant, right? So it damages the leaves and barks, reduces the photosynthesis and growth, and thereby increase susceptibility to drought, extreme cold, insects, mosses, and disease causing organisms, and finally the tree dies, right? So when they damage the leaves and barks, it also affects the soil. It also causes soil acidification, which in turn leads to leaching of soil nutrients and release of toxic metal ions into the you know subsurface water or groundwater. So it causes root damage and also reduced nutrient and water uptake. Furthermore, causes reduction in yield in agriculture, suppressed growth of vegetables, leaf injury and damaged young plants, decreased growth rate and increased death rate. So this is how a normal leaf and diseased leaf looks like. Effects of air pollution on materials. So we have seen effects of air pollution on human health, then we have seen about plants. The next one is materials. So corrosion of metals due to SO2 in presence of oxygen and moisture is converted into H2SO4 acid, that is sulfuric acid. This acid reacts with limestone, marble, and other building materials, causing deterioration, soiling and eroding of building materials, right? Sulfur dioxide, ozone, hydrogen sulfide, and aerosols damage protective coating and paints of the surface of the buildings. Ozone and pan causes cracking of rubber and various electrical insulations, deterioration of artwork due to suspended particulate matter, that is PM 2.5 and PM 10. So how to control this air pollution? So it cannot be fully prevented but can be controlled. So we need to take some preventive measures, right? And also control measures using equipments. So what are the preventive measures? Preventive measures, that is source control, selection of suitable fuel, right, in power plants, right, and using of CNG. Then modification of some industrial process, selection of suitable sites for construction of industrial units, right, as per the zoning of zoning criteria. There is something called the zoning criteria for selection of site for industries. So you have to go by the zoning rules. Control measures, when source control not possible, some measures need to be taken to prevent the pollution. So collecting pollutants by using some equipments, destroying the pollutants by thermal or catalytic combustion, changing the pollutants to less toxic forms, and last one is releasing the pollutants through tall chimneys for greater dispersion, so that it does not affect the people who are staying nearby those factories, or meaning the pollutants should be released as high as possible so that they get dispersed into the sky and they don't come down into the lower regions of the atmosphere. So prevention by laws, there are various laws that are established, right? So you have Air Pollution Act in 1981, then Air Amendment Act in 1987, Motor Vehicle Act in 1988, Air Union Territories Act in 1983, and Environmental Protection Act in 1986. So the government is trying to remove the use of leaded petrol, a major cause for air pollution, and industrial acts are implemented to control the harmful emission of gases. Natural management teamwork to minimize the effect of various natural disasters like forest fire, volcanic eruption, etc. that cause air pollution, right? So this is the efforts taken from the government side, right? So we close this session here. Thank you.
Thus, we come to the end of this session. Thank you for your participation. Looking forward to meeting you in the next session.